Well, you folks at home can see the evidence. Snow and supposedly a few inches yet to fall here at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kymie Fairbairn, to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. A solid return, pretty good field position. We'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. Here's Hurts to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Throwing is Hurts. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Throwing on 2nd and long. Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Hurts sets up to throw it. Gets this to Saquon Barkley out of the backfield. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. Oh, they're changing this at the line. They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Looking to put a drive together. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Stroud sets up the play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. By that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end and have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge. That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Stroud now on fourth down. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over here up near the 40.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Give him 32 on the play. Hurts. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Barkley, inside handoff. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll drop the throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on fourth. They're going to try a second time. They're going to look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Play action. Here's Stroud. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throw right side, taken in by Collins. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to make it fourth down. They're going for it. Here's Stroud. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. They go play action with Hurts. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Texans are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
And this might not be the last interception we see, Brandon. Both of these teams like to throw the football, but here in this snow, ball's not going to always go where you want it to. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. We're scoreless after one. Texans football to start quarter 2, as they've got it with second down and less than a yard. A toss left, Mixon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Mixon with a first down carry. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Well, they'll go play action here with Stroud. This goes out wide for Mixon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Option right, here's Stroud. And dropped at the 35, but able to display some strength on the run. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down.
After that run for a first down, I don't know that confidence can be much higher for an offense. They're doing exactly what they want to do on this drive.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running left, it's Mixon. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. In there to drop him for the loss, linebacker Nakobe Dean, an outstanding play. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. This is caught at the 8. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 30 yards. Mixon is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Another try for Mixon. And I think they stopped him again. They did. at the 1-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. Oftentimes with these gadget plays, these fakes, we focus on the offense and say, hey, they practiced this week. They were ready. But the defense has practiced these situations too.
And just look at it this way. The two owners sitting up in their boxes, one is saying, boys, my team well prepared. And the other one's like, I got to talk to my coaches. What were they thinking?
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they'll begin inside their own 10, so field position certainly not in their favor here. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Now 2nd and 5. Motion left, Smith. 2nd and 5 now. Hurts. Now Hurts, he's going to do it himself. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. They'll throw now on the final play. Oh, he's going to look downfield for Barkley. Oh, that's in the double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And Charles, a scoreless first half. How does that change how you assess things here moving forward?
Well, it doesn't change it a whole lot because remember,
that's caught inside the 20. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A huge play there for Houston. 48 yards.
When you get into the second half of a tie ball game, you start realizing that every play takes on a bigger significance. And this is pretty significant right here. This is where you start putting the pressure on that secondary. And that's a job well done there.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. He ran it last time. Now Stroud will throw it. And it's caught. Touchdown, Texans. Dalton Schultz. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. And that is going to be caught. And it moves the lead to 8-0. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end, and that play going nowhere. Now Hurts looking to change the play. Brown goes in motion left. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Now they need 2. Here's 3rd down. He'll look to throw. That is caught. And he gets us to the other side of midfield. Across the 45 before going out. Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. They'll run it again with Barkley. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, 39 yards. And the Eagles have come back to make it a 2-point game.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They'd done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the 2nd half, that got done.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the 2nd half. Inside handoff to Mixon. And they'll stretch out only about a yard up to the 32. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Fourth down, Stroud going to try to throw for it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will go out right near the 35-yard. Line. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So from 135 all the way over to the other. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And a short gain down to about the 33. Tackle there by big Jordan Davis.
Well, they're hoping that the 2nd half is better for him than the 1st half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 8. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Now, how about this? They'll change it at the line. Fourth down. Here's Stroud. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over here up near the 40.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. That's another great play to come away with the football.
Room here to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle, complete. That's Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
A first down carry for Barkley. They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Here comes 2nd down at 5. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Out route pass complete to Goddard. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's 3rd down. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Here we go. This is 4th down. It's intercepted. Darren Stingley picks it. And the Texans are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they picked that one off.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Stroud. Taking a shot for down here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Stroud wants to change it up with an audible. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, look at this. It's intercepted. He may go. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. I get and appreciate that they wanted to go for the win, not play for overtime, but that's the cost right there.
Not so sure their fans feel the same way as you when they just watch that ball get picked and taken the other way, and now they're down 6. Looks like it's going to be a loss for them, an absolute catastrophe when they tried to be aggressive.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. This is 1st and 10. Stroud to throw it. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense has been so stingy all game long. No reason to think it's suddenly going to open up now. They took their shot, but this, like many others, falls incomplete.
Here comes 2nd down.